Hey guys, and welcome back to the podcast. Today I want to discuss something again that's theological and psychological to a sense. I want to discuss the crucifixion of Jesus in a meaningful and impactful way that might be an update and kind of make sense to a more modern audience. So if it gets a little wonky, please just try to follow through to the end and maybe it will make a difference to you. So I've been wrestling with the thought that the Jews didn't really kill Jesus per se. Their attempt was to kill the idea of Jesus. Now, the Jews had a very specific way of thinking of what the Messiah would be. And to them, the Messiah would be a warrior type that would free them from the Roman occupation. Now, they didn't go far enough back in their history to realize that, these sorts of people had came and went that tried to lead a revolt against the Romans, and it never really worked out for them. So the idea of Jesus as Messiah from a non-revolutionary standpoint is that only the Messiah could be the Savior of the world. Okay, that's great, but what does that really mean in a substantial way? Well, the idea is the Messiah would be that which could empower you to set yourself straight so that you could become embodied to help emboldened to help set the world straight. And it's kind of, I know that's a Petersonian idea of set your house in order. Well, it's a biblical idea of set your house in order before you judge the world, but it's a Petersonian idea of getting yourself straight so that you can be useful in helping to set the world straight. But I don't think it's necessarily wrong. I think that's the central messaging of the Messiah story of Jesus, is trying to get you to set yourself straight so that you can help set the world straight. Because Jesus knew that he would have a physical death, be resurrected, but then leave the world and have to try to leave it in our hands to set things right again. That we would have to become the physical representation of him on earth. And you can't be a proper physical representation of that until you can set yourself straight. So the Jews, in my opinion, didn't really kill Jews and Gentiles, I should say, didn't really set out to kill Jesus as such, because Jesus was the embodiment of the Messiah ideal. So their hopes were to kill the embodiment of the idea so that the idea would fade. Right? Because this is not the Messiah they're looking for. They're looking for the warrior Messiah that's going to set them free from the Roman occupation. And that's not the Messiah that they got in Jesus. So what's easier to do? Well, let's kill this idea until the idea that we want to come around comes around. But it didn't necessarily work out in that way, because they killed the embodiment of the idea, but the idea continued. So now comes the point where you allow me a very small political and cultural aside in order to make this a little bit more concrete and less of an abstract idea. So you have the same problem with ISIS. Any military offense against ISIS is not enough, because the leaders of ISIS that any military around the world kills are just the embodiment of the ideas. So ISIS is really an idea. It's The reason you can't take it out is it's a very loosely formed organization of people that embody this ideal. So killing them is not enough. You have to replace that idea with something better. And that's what is not being done on that front. Because we know that ideas can spread like wildfire. Well, all it takes is a few people to embody that idea, and then you've got the problem all over again. So killing the ISIS leaders really means nothing to the group, because they're so loosely formed that anybody can embody those ideas. I think that's where I'm going to end this one. I hope that helped make sense a little bit of where I'm at on that. So thanks for listening, guys. Have a great day.